Hi guys, it's Mr. Wedge, and today we're going to do a Chinese style landscape of a mountain range. And this doesn't have to be big, so the first thing I'm going to do is cut my paper in half with some scissors. If you don't have scissors, you can just fold the paper in half and use that. You could also fold the paper in half back and forth and then pull it apart and rip it. So that's kind of tricky to do, but anyway, there's a little piece of paper to work on. And of course we have to put our name on the back first. So I've got a pencil for this, and in China they'd use ink, and we're just going to use a pencil to kind of give it that look, but I'm going to show you a little trick. So don't forget your class code, 3- something. Flip your paper over, and the first thing we need to do is start at one end and go to the other with our drawing with a line that kind of looks like a mountain range. So I like to start in the middle and go up, and your lines can be bumpy. The mountains could be round on top. They can just change direction really quick and have like a little mountain next to it. The black mountains in China have this really cool look. They're kind of flat on top and they're very tall, and they get smaller as they go down like that. Or bigger, I mean, sorry, they're kind of small at the top and flat. And then you could do like some little jagged parts coming out. They could be pointy, whatever you think. Just a mountain range. Okay? So once we have a mountain range line going across, we're going to go back and just make it real dark kind of underneath. Make a really bold line. So I'm going to go all the way across and just kind of color under it or shade under it with my pencil. And this has to be just a regular pencil for this to work. And just make the bottom edge of this line really, really dark. There we go. I shaded all the way across, kind of underneath. I'm going to set my pencil aside, and now I've got a tissue I'm going to wad up into a ball. You could do this with a paper towel too. You could do it with your fingers too, but it's going to be messy. But a tissue works really well. And see how it's clean? That's important. You're going to start in the sky. You're going to push down really hard, hold your paper, and just wipe straight down like that. Okay? So see how it kind of fades down underneath it? So now I have to turn my tissue to a clean part because I don't want that smudge to be in the sky. I want to keep the sky really, really clean the whole time. And I'm just going to keep turning my tissue to a clean part and starting at the top, push down hard and smudge down. Always smudge down. And this is going to give it a look that you see in a lot of Chinese ink paintings. And it kind of looks like fog underneath. And if you ever get a chance to go to the Black Mountains in China, I don't know who has ever been there, but that I know of. I haven't, but if you ever get a chance to go, you would see it really looks kind of like this in real life. So that's why the ink works really well to give it that look with the really dark mountain tops and then the fog underneath. But we're using a pencil for this. So as long as you keep turning your paper towel or your tissue to a clean spot and wiping down, it's going to give it that really cool look. So once you've made your fog underneath your mountains, you can go and add details. We could add little birds up in the sky. If you keep them really small, it's going to make this whole world look really big. So there's like the smallest birds I could make right there. And I could put like a river going through. So two curved lines that are parallel. Could put a boat in the river with people in it. You can shade in whatever you want, but you notice I'm just using a regular pencil for this whole thing. So all the different values that we're getting, all the different lights and darks, they just come from the pencil, which is dark, and the white of the paper, which is as light as it gets. Right? So we're creating value. And if you have water, that's a chance to do some reflections. And actually, you kind of know how to do that already. So if you took your tissue and kind of twisted it up like this, then you can go in. Same thing. You're just going to wipe straight down like that. Turn it to a clean spot, wipe straight down. And then it kind of looks like reflections too. You can also just draw your reflections underneath like this. It's another way to do it. Just little dashes. Just makes it kind of look more like it's in water. You could put patterns in, so any line that repeats, and that's an opportunity to shade it in with different lights and darks. So now that I have stripes in my river, I could shade it, dark, light, dark, light. So that's up to you. I might just leave it like that. You could add little buildings if you want underneath. You could add trees. If it's China, there's bamboo there, so you could add bamboo to your picture. Whatever you think. You could add animals. Okay? And then the very last thing when you're happy with your picture is we're going to kind of sign it in a special way. So that's why I have a red colored pencil. So anywhere that you have space, usually over in a corner somewhere, you're going to draw a shape and then put your initials in, kind of like a symbol that represents your signature. So I'm going to do a circle, but you could do a square or a rectangle or triangle even. And then I'm just going to put an M for Mr. and a W for Wedge. And that's my chop, and which is a red seal that you would use to sign your artwork. All right, so that's it. It's my Chinese mountain range landscape. So work hard and have fun. I forgot to say something. There's actually one more thing you can do with your drawing. If you don't want this to smudge, because pencil smudges obviously, but if you're done with it and you don't want to accidentally smudge it, you can just pour some milk on it. And you're going to think I'm crazy, but what this will do is fix the drawing so it won't smudge anymore. And you can buy fixative in a can at the store, but you have to spray it, and you have to be an adult, and you have to do it in a really well ventilated area, so why do that when you could do this? So anyway, I'm just going to leave this flat to dry. It won't be a problem. It's just going to make it so my drawing doesn't smudge. So anyway, work hard and have fun.